Yes, Facebook, we're good.
All right, folks. Good evening. I was going to say good afternoon, but I guess I'm post-dating myself a little bit here. Right. Hey, Javaris and everyone who's joining us right now. Listen, I want to go ahead and just give a few more minutes for folks to join. And this will be a recorded conversation. For those of us who want to join the conversation, if you're out there, and I'm going to announce it again, we'll wait about 3 minutes to do more formal announcements. But for those who want to join the conversation, and you may be an influencer or you may be someone who has a voice, hey, Brian, I just wanted to what I wanted to do is I wanted to let you guys know that you're welcome to join the panel, and you can use this link, and the link is, let me share it again for those who don't have it. But if you're on the YouTube page, you'll see the link, and feel free to join us and feel free to engage. This is an open forum. It's a community forum, and we're going to have a formal conversation, but yet it's still an engaged conversation. All right, we're professionals here, nothing new here. But if you do want to come and join, and feel free to join in, everyone, and feel free to be engaged and that sort of thing. So I did share the link for anyone who wants to be a part of the conversation. And then if we have to moderate and maybe remove people, whatever, we can do it. But for right now, I think we'll be fine. All right. So, yep. What's up, Brian? Javaris. Ramona is here in house. Ryan's here in house. YouTube Dramatic is in house. I think he's in house. He is in house. All right. And we got other folks who are here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Uh, uh, Okay, cool, cool. All right. So we're good, folks, and feel free to, come in and comment, and, feel free to be a part of this lively, engaging conversation. Listen, it's a community-based conversation, so, don't hold back. We want everybody to be their authentic selves. And let's do what we do. So we'll wait 2 more minutes and then we'll get this thing going, because I don't like to delay if I'm moderating something. And Ryan Simwelski is in the house. He's going to be a co-moderator because I'm just so used to him being that. And Miss Ramona is a moderator as well. So, she's in the house. Hey, Ramona, how you doing?
Hello, how y'all doing?
We are doing fine, and I'm just checking levels while we're just kind of doing a little bit of house cleaning, and then we'll get to the conversation, or we'll start it off more on a formal basis. So give us about 2 minutes, all right? Anybody got any questions in the meantime, please feel free to put it in the chat. And for those of us who are watching globally, if you guys are wanting to join in, you have to go to either Facebook or at Amir Shakur Speaks Broadcasting, or I think we shared it on individual channels. You can go to, I think Ryan has his up. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan.
Yes.
Okay. And then
Yeah, the only thing is that if people want to, since I'm using OBS, the comments aren't linked, but so I'll be watching the comments so I can relay them. And then if anyone wants to come on stage, I'll share the link in my chat. Because they'll have to come directly to come backstage to your so that with that link as well, I can share that as well.
okay. Yeah, and Ryan, just be prepared to co-moderate because I definitely don't want to be, the biggest talker here. I know you got the skill set, so
You are the biggest talker because everybody wants to know the updates from yesterday still.
oh my
So
God,
you know
stop.
that's people's minds. So I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, no, we'll do that. We'll definitely do that, and just as a correction, because I know you, myself, and we all talked about it. A group of us talked about it, and I did not post this chat in Shay's commentary, and I meant to, and I just feel so bad about that, but I did share it. So anyway, all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get this lively conversation going, and I want this to be interaction. It is engagement. That's the only way we're gonna have community. We got to bring voices to the table. Okay. All right. So you are you guys are very vital, and we're gonna get this thing started, and we have some goal posts at the end of this. I want to start off by giving folks who don't know about Harvey, Illinois, a small demographic, geographic, just let's get the data, because I think it's fair to do that for the folks who don't know. So and then one disclaimer before I even get into the data. There's been a lot of issues throughout Chicago and a lot of the communities throughout the country. Not just picking on this community. The reason why this is a flagship community for us, and we focused a lot of attention, is it seems like this is the one that's been the loudest and most prominent, and maybe the deepest rooted long-term issues. All right, so we are addressing those as we speak. Again, if you want to come into the chat, you can go to Amir Shakur Speaks at gmail.com, Ryan's Gay Chicago, your YouTube page, or you can go on Facebook. Those are the two ways that you can join the chat. And if you guys have any other ways for folks to come in and be a part of the lively part of the conversation, then please feel free to put that in the comments as well. All right. So we're here. We're moving forward. Let's get it started. I think we have to do this the right way. So, kind of Robert's rules type thing. My name is Amir Alakim Shakur, or Amir Shakur Speaks. A lot of people know me better as Amir Shakur Speaks or Amir King 7 Shakur. I got about 10,000 names, y'all. And what I do and what I am is I am most prominently, when it comes to this circle, I'm an influencer, a broadcaster, journalist, and I am a member of the Thornton Township Citizens Action Committee, and that's the platform that I most address my concerns in this forum from. Okay, so that's me. And you guys feel free, started with Ryan, then we'll go to Ramona, and just introduce yourselves in the same way, same manner.
All right. Hey everybody. So my name is Ryan. I live in Harvey. I do the Harvey Historical Society and cover local politics. I also do the Chicago Southland Politics Facebook page, which anybody's free to join. I started that after being kicked out of the Dalton Politics page many times, because I realized that a lot of these local groups are being led by people who don't live in the area and are paid, and they have a stake in the community, but it's a stake of, they're trying to manipulate things. So that's kind of how I got started at that. So
Right. Okay. Miss Ramona, please feel free to grace us with your presence.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ramona Adair, and I am a resident of Harvey, possibly about 12-year resident, and I'm also a member of Thornton Township Actions for Committee, and I have been roughly in the Thornton Township Committee action for committee a little over a year. And one of the reasons why I joined this committee, because I want to make a change for Harvey, and I want to speak out about different things that were happening in the city of Harvey, and to bring some kind of resolution to our city.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to real quick run through demographics. Okay. So we're talking about Harvey, Illinois. It's a South suburban city, right? Located in Cook County, roughly about 20 miles south of downtown Chicago. And it's known historically as an industrial center. The city functions as a central logistical gateway for greater Chicago region, excuse me. And for those who know the city, you would know then that it sits on maybe 3 or 4 major interstates all the way around from the north, south, east, and west, and directly on at least 2 major interstates that we know for sure. So that's why it's a very important corridor, going all the way up into northwest Indiana, 20 minutes from downtown. And then, also we're 15 minutes shot from the tri-state as well. So that's 3 major interstates right there at this point. All right. So an overview of the demographics. So I think right now, Harvey's trending at right now, roughly going on about 20,300 residents, maybe 20,000, give or take, because there's also, major transition going on, with a lot of renters in the renter section, so on and so forth. So that's always an opportunity as well as a struggle for this community. The major sectors include transportation, warehousing, and healthcare. Over the course of the last 50 years, warehousing would have probably been the primary, but since the factories have closed, I think maybe retail would probably be, with a lot of mom and pop and independents who kind of bring the economic foundation to the community. All right. So correct me if I'm wrong anywhere, guys. I'm just going to go through this real quick. Bordered by Dixmoor and Riverdale to the north, Dalton and South Holland to the east, and Markham and Posen to the west, right? So the city government and leadership, all right, administration is handled primarily via the City of Harvey Municipal Building on Broadway Street, and that's in the major corridor of the downtown area. And the current mayor, and I want to say interim mayor, I want to put interim in parentheses because we'll talk a little bit about that. Okay, I got you. Well, interim means that you're not the permanent mayor, even though Mr. Winsky may pose or almost seemingly act that way, but this is an interim mayor, okay? And the election, correct me if I'm wrong, is next year, Ryan. Correct me there.
Yes.
Okay. And that's November of 2027, is that?
No, February will be the primaries, and then the general will be in April.
In April. Okay. So the city elections are a little bit different. It doesn't go on the national schedule. Yeah. Okay, thanks for that clarification. And the city treasurer at this point is Aisha Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. And so the transit center, as I said, is serviced by an extensive network of rail lines and major interstates. And the biggest project that Harvey has had that's given a little bit of renovation, a little bit of air to the village, the town and the city itself. It's a $70 million metro pace transit hub renovation project, which I personally like myself, because a lot of times I may use that hub. So it definitely has been withstanding some opportunity that we've discussed and our allies have discussed in meetings. It does bring a plus to the community, I will say that. And again, you guys can, if you feel any way within the next few minutes, if you want to chime in, if you want to talk about any of this, let me know. Okay, I'll stop. Community features. Key public institutions include the Harvey Park District, right? The local Harvey Boxing Club, which I love. That's a definite long-term positive for the community. And the Harvey Public Library has been, with notwithstanding some small difficulty, but it's definitely been a long-term labor of love for the community. All right. Annually, Harvey hosts the annual 4th of July celebration festival downtown, and also the Harvey Fest, right? Those are some of the things that routinely have been done without stop. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. And if you're looking for specific information on this particular city, if you don't know about it, you can go to the website. The website was just recently redesigned, which it does look. I give the guys credit of a B, strong B for the website, because it's definitely looking pretty decently. I give it a good grade. All right. So without drowning in editorial stuff, I just wanted to get that out. So some of the areas of opportunity which we'll talk about, Harvey itself, and just for the folks who don't know, there has been a price of corruption in Harvey, and that's one of the major themes of this particular forum. This is for decades, this political corruption has resulted in just a pilfering of the community, and this is not us being negative about the community, but we have to be real about the struggle that's going on. So what are the things that have plagued the community? And then after I introduce this, then I'll go ahead and allow Ryan to kind of update us from the point of a perspective of where he stands in the struggle, because he's one of the primary figures who have been out there fighting this battle. And Ramona also will chime in on this as well. Okay, but the price of corruption is what we were talking about. For decades, the political corruption, unchecked shakedowns, and systematic financial mismanagement, the third one being the biggest nemesis to Harvey. And it's finally come due, right? The cost of the courts are being paid entirely by its citizens, who are left, with holding the check, who are left navigating through these issues almost single-handedly. We're talking about infrastructure that is probably almost to a third world standard on some streets, with potholes, with unchecked infrastructure, navigating dark streets, hollowed out public service areas. These are the things that you might run through this particular community and see, right? But there's also one thing over the course of the last 20 years, and if you've ever heard this term, I've used it time and time again, especially in my journalism work, the fruits of the rotten tree. What are we saying here? What are you saying, Amir? The city of Harvey has been treated less like a municipality and more like a private playground for political insiders, right? And this is not my subjective opinion. This is opinions of community advocacy, a lot of folks who have been watching the struggle on the ground. And the more recent federal conviction of Derek Muhammad, the brother of the former mayor Eric Kellogg, right, for taking bribes to steer police towing jobs, is only the latest drop in a very, very deep bucket of municipal misconduct. For generations, while the FBI raids targeted Harvey City Hall, it's happened in local strip clubs, the infrastructure has crumbled, and the long-term reality of greed is just drawn. It's unfathomable. A $164 million debt. And that's only what we know of, right? We don't know of the correct amount because, unfortunately, the city leadership has decided to go silent about its books and keep those out of the public eye. For whatever reason, we don't know, but we'll talk about that as well in the Where Do We Go From Here section over the course of the next hour. So I'm going to say this one piece and then I'll turn it over to you, Ryan. So that way from oversight to failure to insolvency, corruption does not just steal the tax dollars and steal the stuff away or take it away. At this point, it actively repels investment. So, businesses are especially major level businesses are a little bit amiss not to come into the community at this point. Are those things coming? And I'm not going to say they're not. I want to be positive as well, but I definitely want to be realistic. So, if once public accountability gets back into place, then I could see, major businesses seeing this as an economic platform, especially because the most attractive thing that this community has is it sits across the major interstate. So it is definitely an effective transit center. I mean, Hampton Inn hotels, La Quinta Inn, those kind of things are there in Harvey, and they are a foundation that are already there. And that's on the furthest south, the south corridor. You'll see those. But what we'd also like to see is coming up a little bit towards Dixie Highway and where the Dixie Dixie Square Mall used to be. We like to see a lot of infrastructure there because it is a central location of the city. And, that's where a lot of the economic infrastructure was back in maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago or more. So, there is a revenue drain. And we will talk a little bit about that, but and there's also a failed lifeline, and we'll talk about that. But what I definitely want to talk about is where we're at with a culture of crisis when it comes to corruption. So Ryan Sinwelski has been on the ground probably for the better part of maybe 4 years, actively engaged. And you could correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but actively engaged in the struggle to bring correction to this community. And he definitely is an insider and has a front row seat to what's going on. So I'll yield and I'll turn it over to Ryan.
Thanks, Amir, and everybody who's been so supportive. I'm very appreciative. All the Harvey residents are very appreciative of the love and attention and concern. And we need you now more than ever, for sure. We can't do this alone. So for the Harvey Historical Society, one of our biggest things we've been following lately is started in early April at 15404 Broadway, which is in downtown Harvey. There was a sudden, not announced, very secretive, huge demolition project that started happening. We still have concerns that essentially a lot of asbestos and other harmful chemicals could have been and might still be being released into the air because proper safety guidelines weren't followed, and really the building shouldn't have been demolished in the first place. It was a landmark. So that's one of the big things from the past 2 months that we've been following. And we've also been monitoring and noticing that the city officials under interim mayor Drewinski, they've been pushing and applying for some other grants for a grant to prepare industrial land in West Harvey, but we're not being told for what. So that one of my concerns is that the city council might be trying to push through a data center. That's been happening in a lot of towns. I'm not against data centers per se, but how they are currently being built in most of the U.S., they're very they pollute the water and the air in extreme ways, not just like a little bit of pollution. And they also use enormous amounts of electricity, which raises electric prices for everybody in the area. So that's something we're watching as well. Also, I don't know if I mentioned that to Amir before, but there was near the southwest corner of 154th and Dixie Highway recently, an old strip mall just sold for $1.3 million. Again, I posted that, and I'm saying, well, why? What's happening? What's going on? Whether it's downtown Harvey and the sudden, disastrous demolition on Broadway, or if it's in West Harvey with trying to get grants to prepare for industry, and then this really expensive sale of this lot. We're not getting any information from the city, so we need to keep pushing, keep doing FOIAs, keep speaking up. So I just encourage people and ask, please drive around the city, just take photos, take pictures, post. Like we were talking earlier, we're trying to encourage other folks to be the eyes and ears on the ground. Post it online, post it on social media, show us what's going on. I can't be everywhere. Amir or Ramona or YouTube Dramatic or whomever, everybody has different views. So, or different things you see and you're exposed to. So, share, whether it's a photo or a video, or even if you just only feel comfortable describing what you see. If our leaders know that we're watching, that changes things. It changes behaviors. My other major concern is, and then my sources are telling me that the reason why city officials are pushing for fast and illegal demolitions of historic buildings in downtown Harvey is because allegedly there is a plan for profit, not for the benefit of the community, but to basically make downtown Harvey like a Robert Taylor Homes. Like they want to put in some huge subsidized housing projects that would be done in a horrible way, and there's just no need to do that. The old buildings that are there, they're naturally subsidized housing. You have a store on the first level, and you have apartments or condos up above. It's the store space, subsidizes the rent. So that would not be a good thing for Harvey, but it's just something to watch out for. I'm hearing that's why they're doing a lot of shady land stuff. We also have concerned residents in the 5th Ward. Dominique Randall L., who's the alderman, seems to be very enthusiastic about pushing a solar farm. Again, we're not really getting much information. The gentleman and the company that are putting it there, like who is he, where's he from, how much would money would the city get paid, would the alderman get paid? There's just a lot of really very questionable things going on. And as Ramon can attest, we're in for her building, what is not being done is no one is applying for grants to repave our roads. And so many of our streets are just in horrific shape, like absolutely horrific shape. So that's another reason why we need more transparency. We need to figure out what's going on in the government. We really need them to open the books. We haven't seen for years really where our money's going. My other concern that I wanted to mention, and I'll end with this, is that I see an alarming behavior. Paul says I can hear you on Amir's channel, but okay, let me check. Make sure I don't have that muted. Shouldn't be muted. But we've seen operatives, Jedediah Brown, and some other operatives that, just like Clark brought them in last year to try to disrupt and try to make sure that we don't find out what's going on in our government. We see that same pattern, people coming in, making threats of violence, getting in people's, violating their personal space, actually, which is illegal. You can film, you can say whatever you want at a meeting, but you are not supposed to be touching on people, and you're not supposed to be in their personal, in their personal bubble. Like there is a limit. So we want to really take a firm stance against that, because we don't want to repeat of last summer with the violence. And let's be clear, it was political violence where people were protected by Harvey politicians and by Harvey police. Right. And they were encouraging and allowing the violence. So that will not happen again. Mm-hmm. And that's it for me for now. I'm sure Ramona could probably add to that, because I know you feel very strongly about that as well.
Well, one of the things that is concerning for me is attending the meetings. And we all know that we all have our different opinions and our different feelings of the way our government is running things. And because we are taxpayers, you have a right to voice your opinion and state things that you are uncomfortable about and that you would like to get clarity on. And for me, this was one of my goals of why I started attending the meetings, because I saw so many things in my neighborhood that were the infrastructure as far as the roads, and they were just in horrible shape. And they did come and do a little something now, which is called cold patching, and I don't know how long that's going to last. But one of the concerns also for me was how the residents were being weaponized by not only the police force there, but other residents were attacking other residents as far as verbally saying things that they shouldn't say in an open meeting. So, that was very disturbing for me because I feel like anybody has a right to freedom of speech or opinion about how their government is running. So you may get these run-ins with the Opps where they're trying to control the narrative of you not even saying what you need to say in a public meeting. And that was so offensive to me for these Opps to do that. And then also, I'm pretty sure everybody knows, I'm not sure, that I'm strong against anybody committing any act of violence. And Jedediah Brown and his members, and because I was on the ground, and this happened July the 14th, so 2025, I have been standing with Amir and the rest of the residents in Harvey, and I kind of met Ryan, just to give you a little story on that I met him actually speaking out in a meeting, and it was so appalling to me to watch him get thrown out of the meeting, actually pulled by the back of his collar by the law enforcement. I'm like, what is this? So, but I continue to go to the meetings, but to see this injustice done really bothered me. And the greater injustice that I saw was Amir Shakur being, it's hard to talk about, but I have to talk about it so that everybody can understand that these things are real and it's true. We went to go to assist on the ground on that day after a public meeting that there were squatters, and we were just going to offer assistance or help to those squatters because we just didn't know what was going to happen to them. And by doing that, Amir got mob action out there. He was seriously injured. So to me, that was a great injustice. And the law enforcement, to me, my opinion, did not handle that correctly, because this person was allowed to leave the scene. He came back. He was arrested, but he wasn't charged for anything that he did. He violated Amir's personal space. He violated quite a few people on the ground that night. And because it's not that I saw a film or I saw the video that was put out there. No, I was there on the ground. I saw it in person, live and in person. It was very disturbing to me. And I was traumatized by that, but I didn't forget what happened. So I vowed that I would stay with this fight until I see things in Harvey change as far as weaponizing residents, just weaponizing anybody. That is against the law. And those are things we want to stand. Bullying, harassing people, that cannot go on anymore. It's ridiculous. So we need to learn how to get along to get along. We need to respect each other's boundaries. That is part of being an adult. These people act like children to me. So how are you going to build a better Harvey if you're steadily destroying it? And that is what is happening to me. And I just cannot sit back and not have a voice and say anything about it. And this is my strong action to all of this. So I'm saying it public. I'm a quiet person, but when I need to speak, I'm going to speak and let my voice be heard. And it is important for any other Harvey resident to please don't be afraid. You need to come out to the meeting, see for yourself, experience what you need to experience, and then you need to speak about it, because it's important that we stand together. Because if we don't stand together, then a change is not going to come. That's all I need to say about that. And it is a pleasure and it's great to be on this show so that you all can hear it from myself. And I stayed in the background, and it was a purpose why I did that, because I don't like the limelight too much. But if I need to speak, and when I see great injustices happening, I'm speaking on it. And I'm very strong and powerful about that. I'm a spiritual person, so I don't like to see anyone's rights violated at all.
Thank you for that, Ramona. I think that was a very impassioned speech, and I definitely felt that from you. So, just moving forward, what we won't do is we won't take too much time. We want to get down to some very strategic goal points as we're talking about this Harvey corruption, and that's really the theme of why we're here. And we want to put some call to actions together. I think myself and Ryan and a couple more of the folks were, talking. Whenever we bring the community together, it's fine to have a hypothetical think tank session, but if we don't put call to actions and structural things together, then we're almost wasting everybody's time. So with that being said, I just wanted to address a couple of things, and then we'll talk about some strategic targets, all right, for lack of a better use of word. All right, so for everyone who is aware or who it wasn't aware, the former mayor, when I say the former mayor, Christopher Clark, recently passed away, and there are true victims of the crisis that are going on. And while political leaders have pointed their fingers at past administrations, including Mayor Clark himself, as everyday residents had to endure and hold the consequences of bad city management. So the city still operates, as I said, under severe budget cuts and rolling worker furloughs, which are still going on. And I've been told, and Ryan or one of you guys, Ramona, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I was told that there are some workers who are coming back into fold, but I haven't really seen it in a mass. I think it's just been a few people, a handful of people here and there. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan. Am I right? Have you seen it?
It's a trickle, little by little. It's not a mass of people coming back, but I think there are a few people that are coming back to their jobs.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Are you saying? Oh, you're saying the returning workers?
I'm talking about the furloughs as far as the levels, and basically we were informed by, I think in the last meeting by Mr. Winsky, that folks were being implemented back into their jobs slowly but surely. So I think
it's been happening. Yeah, no, she hasn't totally lied about that. But then my question is, unfortunately, that doesn't make it better. It actually makes it worse, because then my question is, wait a minute. So you're telling us just a few months ago, you shut down the city and fired almost half the workers, destroying so many people's way to survive and make money and have enough for food and for their kids and stuff. And then nothing's really changed. It's only been a few months. There's no state bailout. So if they're hiring people back and the city is now back to its normal hours, then do you mean to tell me that whole thing that happened last year, and especially in October, that was all just a ploy? That was all, you were just using people, you were laying people off to try to blackmail the state into giving you more money?
Right.
So, I mean, there's so many questions that need to be answered, because there hasn't been enough time. What's changed? How can you just hire people back? What's changed? I thought we were broke.
Right.
Well, that's why we got to see those receipts, because we don't know anything. We don't know who's paying who for what.
So that is a good, definitely an approximation. I like that. And the reason why I asked that question is because it leans forward. It helps us lean forward into where I wanted to go next, guys. Is again, Mr. Clark died in January 2026, and the city had faced, even prior to him departing, massive structural debt. And and even with the coming of this particular new interim mayor, who has been probably one of the longest serving aldermen here in the city, has there been the level of change and dramatic change that's necessary? And I know that for one interim mayor, it might be hard, but this is not an interim mayor that hasn't been in position of a position of a role of authority for over the past 30 years plus. So we can honestly say that, I'm not sure if Ms. Drewinski is the answer that the city needs at this point, but I think that she might even be more of the problem. So when we say structural targets and things of that nature, I'm going to say that, our first call to action that we've been talking about loose space is I want us to, over the course of the next week, we can re-announce it, but let's put together a censorship program. And this censorship program will be from the south side of Chicago, the Southland, and let's try it out as a pilot. And this is for, it's almost like a grading report card for the public, because we see these kind of during the election season, but we don't see it on a long-term permanent basis. But I think the public needs to know, especially from the standpoint of, our political leadership, how they voted, what are their critical areas that they need for improvement, so if I were an example, if I were to post up Shirley Drewinski, folks, and I need you guys to chime in, and everyone in the chat as well. And chat, by the way, stand by. We're going to go to some of your questions, and we're not ignoring you, but I just want to get past this part, and then we'll come to you guys. If I were to go to Ms. Drewinski, I could say the first thing that I watch for, and you guys can chime in if you want, is, what were some of the actions that she first engaged in? And I can say that, and I even spoke about the effect of the Turlington Homes project, which a lot of the public was misinformed about or did not have an advanced knowledge about. But the city went ahead and implemented this project, and we still don't even know why. There's a dark cloak about this particular project. Even it's the business and leadership of this organization, which, to be honest with you, there are allegations of this being a shade tree operation, and I can't say yay or nay. I can probably process my feelings, which would say that, if there's a question mark in the sky about an organization, then why would we give them a major investment in infrastructure in our community without having deliverables? We don't even know if they can deliver because, as far as the research that I've done, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I know you did research and others have, Ryan, and Ramona's is aware of the conversation, and I don't want to speak for her, but I mean, as far as from what anyone has seen, there's no deliverables with this organization that are tangible enough to give them millions and millions of worth of infrastructure. And for us being a transient city, I think that's a major problem. And so, Mr. Drewinski did inherit this project out of fairness, but to be honest with you, she hasn't put the brakes on it, even though she did announce a moratorium. But again, I think the first thing that, as a new mayor, the first thing that you do is do a public press conference announcing a major infrastructure project with new homes being built without even the proper accommodations of, if you're building a subdivision of some type, then you would think that, streets would be repaved. In that particular subdivision alone, you would think that the infrastructure as far as sewage lines and electrical lines would be updated. I mean, these are the things that some of these new modern homes require. But, the city leadership did not have enough wherewithal to think about these things, but yet and still we're building a subdivision. It makes absolutely zero sense. I'll yield for anyone else.
And that is true. And the residents should have been first to even engage in the conversation about this new development coming. And also the development, we're not sure where are you going to build these so-called homes, because we have so many abandoned buildings, and what are you going to do with them? So where are you going to start your building at, your structure? how are you going to build these homes when there's so much other things that we need to clean up first before we even think about doing development?
Right. So, Ryan, you're right, Ramona, and I'm totally 100% with your point. So, Ryan, can you actually watch the chat as well? Because I don't want to leave them hanging. So, I just want to go into one more point and make this actionable. So, with Mr. Lewinsky, going back to this report card, so I would say on this particular first initiative that in her tenure as interim mayor, she gets enough. And we have to be able to let folks know, especially when it comes down to, the election season, these things have to be real, tangible in their faces, because a lot of times, the politicians, the political folks, and, those who want to be elected, they bring pie in the sky, but they don't bring the real. So that's where the censorship program that will be put in place. So we're gonna put that together within the next week. It's a very simple thing, and we will leave that with the picture of the politician with several bullet points, areas of opportunity and areas of concern, as well as positive things as well. And so at this point, I mean, if I were to give Mr. Lewinsky a grade, and I want to ask you folks, what do you think? I would probably say at this point, there are also two more concerns that I've seen from her with electing a city clerk that was problematic from the inception and had past problems. And I'm not into putting that person, but I want to be realistic. This administration, from the interim standpoint of the mayor, is not doing well at all. And I'm probably going to say an F at this point. And maybe I might be being harsh. What do you guys think?
No, I agree. I totally.
Yeah.
And then when you look at the former people that were in some of these other positions, now she has rehired some of those people that actually were charged with with some things that was not too pleasing to the public, to the residents. So I mean, we want fresh ideas. We want new administration, because it's like you're going back digging up old stuff, and to put these people right back in certain places, it shouldn't happen.
Right.
When they had shady dealings and those kind of things, and even with the Turrington homes, we know that the Opps had something to do with it. It's so much, and you have to be careful who you line yourself up with.
Right.
Credibility and accountability, those two things go together. So I mean, these people are not credible, and their accountability is horrible.
Right.
So we as residents, we have to stay on that, and we have to make sure that the people that are leading us have good leadership skills. And some of these people don't have good leadership skills.
Right.
You are leading us down a dark road.
Understood. Ryan, you
right. In a lot of what is disturbing is, instead of, even though Shirley tells us that it's a new day and is trying to try to separate herself from all the years of supporting Clark and being one of his alderguestmen, and we have to remind ourselves of the truth and the facts. Look at how she has voted over the past 7 years. When Clark said, City Council, would you like to force our residents, some of whom were civil rights icons, for being able to racially integrate that part of Myrtle right by Ascension Church, my family's old church, which is also a landmark for being one of the first large racially integrated Catholic parishes in the whole Southland? Would you like to demolish that? Would you like to push the residents out of their home? And Shirley said, yes, count me. And when I was arrested in 2024, and I said, this is ridiculous, what's going on? Shirley was all on board. Take him out, take him out. She even told the public, she came back and said, oh, that was horrible. He just acted like a little baby. I remember all the times that Colby was either arrested or harassed, or something. Shirley, but she was right. She was cool. She was good with it. So I think we have to remind ourselves of the facts. It's nothing personal. It has nothing to do with, whether, you might like Shirley personally, or you might like her personality or not. I don't think that really matters. I think we need to remind people of facts and look at how someone has acted. What kind of Harvey has Shirley worked for? She has not spoken up for any of the businesses and she voted yes every time. Sure thing, Mayor Clark. When they put in all the policies to start towing people's cars for no reason and charging exorbitant fees, closing down businesses, claiming that it was because they owed taxes, driving businesses and residents out of Harvey. So it's very concerning, and we can't get caught up in someone's appearance or their race or their gender or how they talk. We have to look at the facts. What have they done? Have they helped people or have they hurted people? Unfortunately, I think, or hurt people. I think I would say giving Shirley an F would be generous. I think she has been, she's been very supportive of very, very harmful policies, including all the police brutality. Did Shirley Drewinski, you tell me, Amir and Ramona, has Shirley Drewinski ever once spoken up against the extreme violence against me, Amir, everyone else that happened last year? Has she ever spoken up about that?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Did she even? Oh, no. And by the way, recently I saw on Facebook that she went to another one of the provocateurs that worked with Jed, Alicia Nicole, one of her posts where Alicia was claiming to be the victim. The mayor, Drewinski, our interim mayor, actually commented on that post saying, oh, I'm so sorry that you're having to deal with this. So this is very alarming to me. You're expressing sympathy to people that violate the law and violently harass people in order to silence public participation in meetings and in government. But you're absolutely silent when people like me or Amir or Ramona or whoever or Colby are actually, being physically violated or being, intimidated. And isn't that? Don't you think that's pretty alarming for a mayor?
Yeah,
it's very alarming.
So I'm sorry. Were you done, or what? Do I need to? I don't want to interrupt you.
No. I'm just asking. I'm asking, is this what you, and for the viewers too, do we feel that is this how a mayor should behave? Because a lot of times what I don't like is that, whether it's Jedediah or Shirley and her four alder guestmen, whoever, they'll try to cloud the argument, the discussion to, oh, well, they're just negative, or they just don't like us, or they don't like what. No. Get the personal stuff out of it. This has nothing to. I don't have to be friends with any of those people, and I don't hang out with any of them. That is not what it's about. It's about the business of the city. You're elected to take care of the business of the city, and that means, bare minimum, maintaining safety in public meetings, taking input of the public, and just treating people with a basic amount of respect. And if you can't do those things, is this the kind of leadership that we want? I'm asking. It's an open question. Well, how do you feel? Because they'll try to talk and have you forget about that, and they'll just say, oh, well, Amir just doesn't like me personally. Right. That's what they'll tell you. Do you believe that, or is this? Look at their actions. Like, how do you feel about them as leaders?
And that's an important point, Ryan, because it does feel personal at some point, because leadership should show accountability, and it should not ever be personal. This is business. This has nothing to do with whether I like you or you like me. No, and those are one of the things that I don't like. They weaponize the residents with, because it's not personal for some residents. and some it may, but there are certain people that even speak out, like you, for instance. You're always being, weaponized, and that's a tool that I watch and that I see, and it's constant with certain people. And if you're going to call it out, call it correctly. You cannot weaponize this person and then this person get away with something else. It's like little, you treating us like we little kids. We're not kids. We're not children at all. We are adults, and we should be treated as such with dignity and with respect to the fullest. You don't have to like me, but you do need to stand up against some of these things that are happening in the meetings, period.
Right.
And no one should be interrupted in their public comments, and none of those things should ever happen, but it does. And it's to me, when you're doing that, you're saying, oh, it's okay to embarrass them or shame them or make them feel bad in front of everybody else. I don't like that. That is horrible to me. So that is one of the reasons why I will not speak at a public meeting ever in Harvey. No. Because I don't have the temperance. I'm just saying about me personally. I don't have the temperance to deal with that kind of foolishness. And I try to make my stage bigger. If I have to go to see NBC, CBS, Channel 32 to get my point across, I will do it. Because for me, it is too weaponizing in those meetings.
I will say this, Ramona, because for the purposes of time, and I definitely agree with you. I'm going to show something. We'll have this up by tomorrow, but this is what it's not going to be the election report card. Obviously, this is election based, but this will be a permanent grading basis, and it'll look something like this. To whereas they'll be graded, and it'll be more intricate how to protect public services, how to look at, how they've done healthcare, how they've supported job growth. So we'll have this, and I promise you we'll have it up by tomorrow. And to be honest with you guys, and we got to move on. I want to get to the chat, and then I want to get to the chat, guys. But I do want to say we just welcome Foxy Roxy. Welcome, Foxy Roxy. All right.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Real quick, I have one question for Ryan, and if you don't mind, Amir, are they still passing out tickets since our Clark has passed away?
Yes, I just saw it in the chat. I just answered. Yes, people are still being ticketed, not for saying something necessarily during the city council meeting, but we still have reports of towing ticket abuses. Definitely ticketing people for property violations that they should not be ticketed for, ticketing businesses for all sorts of things they shouldn't be ticketed for. What's the other one? Those are the main ones. Yeah.
Okay.
The city is still very quick to ticket, because again, ticketing it's not about the law. They don't just look at the city of Harvey properties. They don't maintain anything, so they don't care. It's never about the safety or about the law. Like, I'll be driving on 154th and I see the police drive through stop signs all the time. They don't give a F about the law. It's about money. So they're still getting tickets out because they want that money, honey. That is their motivation.
The reason I asked, because I know Clark was the one that appointed that judge for all those violations. So I was thinking, because of him being no longer, had passed away, that maybe now it's time for you all to pressure the acting mayor to, stop all those tickets. Because it's unnecessary.
there is a new judge at the traffic court, because I just went. There's traffic court that they have monthly, and then housing court. So there is a female judge now. I'm blanking on her name. And they also got rid of Patrick. what's his name, Amir? The guy that was also works for Cal City. Yeah. So what we've been seeing, Foxy, is we're seeing this pattern from Ms. Drewinski, that it seems that they're trying to get rid of people as a way of saying, like, if you don't see the people that did the violations, then it didn't really happen. We're gonna pretend like nothing happened, nothing went wrong. No one's responsible now, because you see a lot of faces changing. Like, whatever happened to the city administrator, Corinne Davis? We were never told what happened. Was she fired? What happened?
Okay, so
she did a lot of horrible stuff, but what happened? You can't just, what happened to the deputy chief that grabbed me by the neck? What happened to Deputy Chief Anderson? Those two, again, they just retired. We were told verbally. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting time to retire, isn't that, Amir?
Yeah, well, we have some idea, but I mean, again, speculation is what it would be at this point.
Interesting though. That's a lot of that stuff has been happening where people are just like, they're no longer there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do want to move forward for the purposes of time, guys. And Foxy, please feel free to stay engaged in the conversation. I want to get to the chat before we do agree that we're going to do this temporary report card. Expect that by tomorrow. And just so you guys know, even though this name is not Harvey, it's actually Thorn Township, but we're going to add Mary Avant to this report card structure. We're going to add Shirley Jawinski, and they will be probably the poster children, the first ones out on this. And then we'll share this. This will be a graphic that we can share and folks can refer to globally from this point on. And we'll make it an annual thing. Shirley Jawinski's 2026 PRC. How about that? Political report card. How about that? How you guys like that?
That's a good idea, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's get to the chat real quick, and then we'll talk about our policing, and then we'll go to there. So sorry, chat, for being so long-winded. It's my fault.
No, you're fine. There really aren't that many comments.
I know, but it's Ryan's fault, y'all.
All right. No, it's not bad. Sometimes people just aren't like super chatty.
Oh yeah, no, we're good. All right, I'm just being facetious. All right, here we go. So let's do it. Where are we at? Okay, Diana, if you want to come through, you feel free to. If you're always welcome to join the conversation. Francois, hello. You can do that better than I can, Ryan. I can't do it good. All right. Anyway, Dramatic is kind of helping keep posts of the chat, so thank you for that. And if you guys have any questions, and he's going to be pulling up a poll real quick for us. All right. So thank you, Dramatic. And Francois, you said I liked your video. I don't know which one is that. Or Francis. I'm sorry. So this says, thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Okay, so it's just okay. Let me get to a question then. Do you see the first question, Ryan? Help me.
I didn't see a. Why am I not seeing? Oh, Francois. Oh, that's probably French.
That's right. Yeah, French. Yeah,
that's
I know.
Weird. I'm not seeing it on my end. Hold on.
Okay. Harvey didn't get the grant from the government. Didn't handle their affairs right. Well, if you're talking about the bailout, they're not getting that bailout because, again, they haven't done the requirement. One of the major stern requirements is public accountability, and they haven't met that, and they don't want to meet that. So basically, that's one of the biggest hurdles that they have yet to overcome. So if that's what you're talking about, Brian, that's not happening until there's public accountability and they open up their books. All right, and that's
hopefully. That's what we hope, Amir. But Shirley says, as of the last meeting, she says that the state House has passed a bill, ending the, what do they call it, garnishment, of the Harvey grants, and that she's hoping it'll pass the Senate. I hope not, because
well, we have yet to see it. So until it actually happens, it's not a reality. But thank you, Francois, or French. Let's just say French. Government in your area is the worst. Well, we take that as a compliment, and an area of opportunity and talent as well. So, and you're not telling us nothing we don't know. Oh, by the way, going back and save this for Save this for later on because, guys, we're talking about the ops. We're going to spend a little bit of time on that and went in the policing section, and then I think we'll wrap. But let me say this to you. If you guys have any concerns about this community, this is what we have to start doing. Let's get the federal authorities involved. You can use the tip line, 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-225-5324. And you can reach them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And, you know, let's get some of these FBI calls going, okay? All right, there we go.
Paul has a good question.
I see it. Go ahead. Where is it?
It says, did Harvey fail to get distressed city status because they hide their finances or because too many residents paid their property taxes? Paul, that's where I don't trust. Amir is much more optimistic than I am about it. I actually think I would like myself and others to make a lot of noise at the state level, reminding them that don't you dare even consider ending the garnishment of the funds for Harvey because Harvey's not, our politicians don't plan on being transparent at all with the finances. So I'm not sure. Harvey's lawyers, they're portraying it as a technicality, and Colby has addressed that as well because it says it depends on the formula that you're using. So the Department of Revenue for the state used a certain formula, and they said, okay, you don't get the bailout because of this. But Harvey's lawyers are arguing to use a different formula, basically how much tax was collected. Anyway, you don't have to understand the details about it. I'm just saying I don't trust our politicians. I'm sure they're in Springfield as often as possible, trying to lie and scheme to say, yeah, just give us the money. So please do speak up, to your rep. You don't have to live in Harvey. If you live in Illinois, you can tell your rep, say, hey, don't give Harvey a bailout until they open the books. Don't even think about it.
Kuma, you're in the bushes. We saw you in the bushes watching. We see you. Don't need to play. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, and Brian has a really good question about how to stop the provocateur.
All right. Let me get down. I'm getting to him. Javaris, by the way, has anybody checked on her son and who is that? Do we know? Anyone?
I don't know that.
Javaris,
that's why I just skipped because I didn't understand. I thought maybe he was talking to somebody else.
Yeah, Javaris, if you can just be more specific, we can answer that. And then we did answer Paul's question. Hey, Paul, how are you? Good to see you. We answered that already, right?
Yep. Yeah, we answered Paul's. Yep.
Okay, Brian had a good question. How do we prevent more agent provocateurs? Oh my God, can you just hold that question? Because I want to get to that question because that's where we're at right now. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about agent provocateurs, guys. So, Ramona mentioned it, and I want you to elaborate more, Ramona, on it as we get into this particular piece. But so just so you guys know, and these are not allegations, but some of these are tied into fact. There's certain things that we have to put to allegations, and then I want to take allegations out because these things are being substantiated, but let's call it investigation because for legal reasons, we do have to kind of be very specific about some of the things they were saying, and I guess you guys can imagine why. But we talked about the first two folks, and we're going to go over this as a quick recap at the end of this conversation. I wanted to introduce a new video to hold each other's attention, and this is a video that was FOIA'd, and this was from what Ramona was talking about, and Ryan mentioned it a little bit, the July 14th incident, where a number of us left the city hall meeting, and basically we were victims of violence. Now, I want to say that the reason why we went down there, which is the absolute truth, was because Harvey was doing an illegal eviction program, and we wanted to highlight that and record that because the city should have been no way doing any evictions, even in today's law standard, which the law just changed, I think in February. But this is actually a video which would give you guys some enlightenment. So let me just pull it up and give me a second, and I'm gonna put it back, and then I'm gonna skip through a little bit of it. But no one's seen this video, and this is a video of the folks who were arrested. So here we go.
Copy and paste it. You need a complaint for that one too. So can I just copy the complaint that she signed already? And she has to physically sign it. Has to be physically signed out.
But what was you gonna do when you gonna put it in the computer? You gonna write it down?
I was gonna write it.
Just sign it up.
Okay. Same way you did last time.
Let me see if I can skip through it a little bit. All right, hold on, guys. All right, this is the part. I'm gonna stop it right here. This is the part that I want to show you. So those who don't know, this is Mr. Jedediah Brown and his group. Jedediah was arrested for a mob action on July 14th. And at the point where this video starts is really, I want you to pay attention. As they were trying to flee, the police intercepted them for the second time, not the first time, but the second time. And this is where this video starts. But this is key because nobody's seen this footage. So let's look at this.
All right, go ahead and step out, man.
This girl is Alicia Spice. Her name is Alicia Spice.
Turn around real quick. Hey guys! He's gonna search you real quick. Turn for it. Hey, just search for it. Hey, man, who is it?
The one right
Oh,
here.
her. Search the vehicle.
Yeah. Who are you, ma'am?
She's 7 officers. I got it. Check the search the vehicle with him. I got it.
Anybody pick up a flashlight? Anybody pick up a flashlight?
Yeah, bro, here.
Grab it.
Hey, do you need one?
I got it. I got it.
Pay attention here. Pay attention right here.
Drug paraphernalia. Got a holster.
You got a holster?
Did you hear that?
A holster.
You found a holster. Are we towing this?
I don't think they ever did tow it.
32.
No, they didn't.
And what's 32?
It means gun.
Hey, Manny, you want to get it this one?
And there's 32 right there, y'all. 32. There you go. The public has.
Oh, wait, where?
Right there in the
Where's
seat, right there underneath the flashlight. That's a gun right there, 32.
So I'm gonna pause it right there because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share this video. And so here's the question that I want to ask everyone, because no one's seen this video. I think myself and Ryan talked about it, and you know, we want to go to the chat as well. But here's the thing: think about this. These guys created and committed felony assault and battery to multiple people, including myself. These guys fled 3 or 4 times, twice. This will be the second time. They also, this is an unseen question. This is a gun that was actually found on the scene of the crime. And
okay, at the time, you got to remember, Jedediah was on probation, so he shouldn't have no no gun on it surrounding him while he's on probation. That's a violation of his probation in Flint.
So let me be more specific with that part, because Ryan had an actual restraining order on him even at this point, so he shouldn't have had any type of weapon in his presence at all. So who can explain that?
And also, isn't the young man? Isn't he the young man? The other guy that was with him,
Raheem Sharks.
Right? Wasn't he? Is an ex-felon?
Yes. He had a active, or I guess there's still some wrangling, but he was charged with murder in 2017. So he has an active homicide case with some multiple other folks, and we're still not.
It was all about. If I remember through his record, he was listed as a felon, so he shouldn't even have a gun in his vicinity either.
What's that, Foxy?
I said if I remember from his record, he was listed as a felon, and if he's a felon, he shouldn't have a gun in his vicinity either.
Right. Of
course. Plus, I'm curious how
he has an active murder charge. He has an active.
Oh, is it still active?
Yeah.
Yes, it's active, Ryan. It's still going on. It hasn't been closed out.
So, he shouldn't have a gun around him at all. And Jed was at that time on probation. He shouldn't have a gun around him at all. So that's another violation for both of them right there.
So what
that's
I'm
something
saying,
that the police department kind of have to answer for that.
Amen. But what I'm saying actively to you guys is, so hypothetically, what if this was a BB gun?
No, that ain't no BB gun.
But my question would be, I'm just hypothetically, my question would be, why would grown folks be riding around with a holster nonetheless than a BB gun? So doesn't this plot? So when we're talking about provocateurs and the nature of what this thing is, and why were these people not given an I-bond? And for those who don't know, it's an individual release, an I-bond, and no one went to the Department of Corrections. You have someone who has a homicide, a murder rap. You have someone who has a restraining order that says they shouldn't be around guns. They just committed several assault and batteries on multiple people. This just doesn't get, for me, it doesn't get any worse. You have the fleeing situation now. It's fleeing in a vein, and yet they still get to go home. They still are not charged. I mean, what do you guys think? I just want to,
that right there, federal right there.
That is
federal. And also, I would report that to the state police, because they misdid that charge right there. I would show that whole video and explain it to it in an email to the board, the police board.
Right. So
they actively said the code. They actually showed the weapon. So right there is proof that they allowed these people to be free the same night, right after they finding a weapon. With two people one guy had a restraining order, and the other one had an active charge against him. So right there, they should be in trouble for that. And this is Harvey.
Exactly. Thank you, Project High Ground. He's at 100. And so, Ryan, can you just explain about when we say the provocateurs? Just give a little bit of background about the provocateurs, please, if you don't mind.
Right. So very often in history, I mean, probably as old as, since humans have been around, right? So if you're in leadership or you're under the spotlight, and there are people that you don't like for whatever reason, and you want to silence them, or you want to make them go away, or you want to make their lives difficult. Throughout the ages, people have hired, like the French is agent provocateur, which just means like agents that go to start stuff, but like it's an agent, right? It's not the person. So if I'm Chris Clark or if I'm Shirley Derwinski and I can't stand Ryan or Mona or Amir because they just ask too many GD questions about where the money's going, they just need to just shut up. If they have half a brain, they'll know that there's only so much they can do. So that's when they outsource it to these people, these agents provocateurs. And so they go and they do everything that the politicians don't want to be seen doing. They'll commit the violence, they'll do the harassing, the stalking, the cyber stalking, the bullying. As you see with the recent city meetings, you know, they will get in your face with cameras. They'll spread all sorts of lies and rumors and defamation. So that's basically, you know, the reason why these people exist.
Yeah. And so going back to the level of provocateurs that we deal with, so this particular group, and what I want to do is I just want to keep it lean to me. This particular group had been plaguing the community. They had come from Dalton, and their leader, Mr. Brown, you know, has a lot of serious allegations, okay? Has a lot of serious allegations under his you know, long-term tenure in the Chicagoland area, and we have to address it as allegations at this point. So Mr. Brown, let's, you know, and is somebody who's currently, you know, going through litigation in several areas. So I have to be very specific about how we deal with this. But I mean, we can say allegations legally. And this is the leader of this group. This is his vehicle, this SUV. And, you know, again, going back to this particular video, you know, this was never even mentioned in any of the investigatory reports. None of the police reports mentioned this. And Ryan, you can verify if you saw this at all.
Right. They didn't. And also Harvey police never properly escalated or followed up on the charges.
Yes. And so what I want to do is I want to address just go ahead and move forward, and you know, hopefully I'm not being, you know, crude with it, but this is what I want to do. And when we talked about call to actions, so let me pull this up and then we'll move forward from there, because I want to bring this moment full circle. And I will have this video this evening. I'll upload it to my YouTube page for everyone to see, and you guys can download it as well if you want to, and you can review it yourself, and you can ask the pertinent questions about what should have been done, but what wasn't done, and what still can be done, and we'll leave it like that. So going forward, one call to action that I'd like to put down on the table for everyone is this particular gentleman is Cameron Bidings, right?
Biddings.
You know what, I just want to transpose this man's name all the time. And so he is the chief of police currently for Harvey. And I'm going to suggest that even if we were to grade this person, even though he is a police official, he's not a politician, he was actually appointed in place like most police are, you know, we still want to have an apparatus for appointed officials, which he would be. And I'm going to suggest that with the current status of this particular person has been accused of police mismanagement, harassment of citizens by the police. You know, when we talk about oversight, you know, this particular department under his leadership has not only seen a increase, but it's seen a serious decline. And when we talk about public institutions, and Ryan can attest to that because he was a victim of police brutality under this person. You know, and I don't know if you want to elaborate on that real quick for me. Do you want to elaborate on that at all, Ryan? Do we have Ryan? Or did he disappear? Foxy?
What would you like me to answer?
Sorry,
Hold on.
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted you guys to add a little bit of coloration to, because you guys are both in the world. Oh, even Ramona, please. But police department corruption, I want to leave tonight with a call to action on the Harvey Police Department, and we've talked about it, but now it's time to put the rubber to the ground, because one of the things is that, and we can say in our current lawsuit, multiple officers, including Derek Moore, were accused of conspiring to obstruct justice by falsifying official police reports to protect associates from federal firearms charges. All right. And this is not even our charge. These are other charges. But even with this situation with Mr. Brown, how the cover up existed and went all the way through to Harvey and potentially to the mayor's office, the former mayor's office, because there's no way that you can commit a major assault and battery to multiple people, flee the scene twice, be caught with a firearm, and potentially, leave the scene, even if, say, for instance, hypothetically, the firearm was fake. Why is it in your possession and hidden under the seat with a holster? And for me, if I were somebody being from the South Side, are you guys robbing people? What are you guys doing with this? What is, there's so many question marks and red flags here. So Ryan, from your standpoint about the chief and, some of the things that you have gone through, I just wanted you to elaborate.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, no, the chief has been there. When I was arrested, he was, again, just like Shirley, he was fine with it. Yeah, take him out. Yeah, brutalize it. Yeah, do it. All the times Colby was harassed and removed from a city council meeting. He never really seems to say much. Whenever I had asked him about issues, he would always try to push them off and say, "Oh, why don't you contact Deputy Chief Charles or Deputy Chief so and so or whatever." So, I don't have much to say in that he seems to be fine doing all the dirty work for the politicians and protecting criminals and harassing, innocent residents. That's just what I've observed.
Yeah, and so let's see, Dalton trash, Harvey recycled him.
That's correct. So because remember the first fire, I think it was the first fire chief, Winters was the chief that Clark had hired, and when Winters refused to promote people that Chief Winters said were not qualified, but that the Mayor Clark wanted promoted because he felt that they were loyal to him, Mayor Clark then terminated Chief Winters. And one of the people that was involving was Mr. Biddings at the time. He wasn't the chief at the time, obviously, yet, but he was brought in from Dalton just because Mayor Clark claims that that Biddings was concerned about his safety.
Okay. I will suggest Ryan knows as well. There is we will make a confidential situation, and we'll announce that next week. I want to be specific about it, about this particular chief. So you guys just got to watch for that, because we'll release that just like we released this. We have at least several more things that we've collected and things we feel comfortable with releasing, because there is a federal level investigation going on with us, as well as federal level litigation and maybe even multiples. So, we had waited for this moment, and there's some more things which we'd like to disclose to the public, but this will be disclosed, and you just saw one about the video. So these things didn't just come up. We've been strategizing about them for a while. All right, so we'll release that, but let's extend the PRC to Mr. Biddings, right? Mr. Biddings, and he will be on there as well. And this way we can just go ahead and talk about, and we are asking for this chief to be removed. All right, so that's one of the things that will come out of this, and hopefully through our discovery and our federal litigation, which Harvey has been served on, we believe that he will be removed. Let me pull up a couple of points about the chat, and then we'll go to one last point, and then we'll close out. But you know, that I think that was a smoking gun. What do you guys think? What do you, Ramon and Foxy, you guys want to chime in about that?
Absolutely. I mean, that is horrible. For both of those two ops to already have problems and to have a firearm inside their vehicle. But I kind of, you know, after the incident happened while I was underground, I kind of had that feeling that they was escaping for another reason. And not just because they didn't want to get in trouble for what they already had done, but for what they had on them.
Right. Yeah, that's the reason why they left the scene of left the scene twice, because they didn't want them to find that firearm in that vehicle. And that's why. And number two, you know, both, like you said, Ramona, that they, you know, both of them have crime, you know, have cases against them, and they had, and both of them, it's show on the video that he was sitting, both of them was sitting in the back seat. So that right there shows who was in the back seat.
So let me do something here too. Go ahead, Foxy. I'm sorry. Let me show you guys something. Go ahead, Foxy, please.
Okay, you know, both of them was in the back seat. Cause remember, Jed with a video showing him sitting back there talking about how he did Amir, and he was in the back seat and he was talking to the guy that was with him and was bragging about it. So both of them was right in the vicinity of that weapon. So
let me replay this for the purpose of those who are going to watch this. So check this. So this is what I want you guys to notate. So these are trained officers, and you would think that they would know a real gun versus a BB gun. So when they say 33, that means it's a gun. But here's the holster. So check this. And here's the other thing. They did mention drugs as well. Did you guys pick up on that?
Yeah.
Yes, I heard that too. I heard that too.
Listen.
And that's in the purse. That was in the purse.
We found a holster. Are we towing this?
And the car never got towed, by the way.
I know, the chief of police drove it away.
32.
I don't know who drove it away, but I you know, that's what you say, Fox.
Yeah, they said it was the chief.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I heard that. Did you hear that, Ryan?
No, but Renee said that the police drove it to the station, but no,
Jed bragged about the chief drove his truck for him.
But you all
you want to get it?
He talks too much sometimes. That's why I know.
So here's the thing. You would think that a trained police officer would know whether this is a BB gun or not, right?
Right.
Okay. So check this out. Check out what happens now. I just want you guys to notate this. Then we're gonna go to move to close this you know, with a call to act, final call to action.
You got ID on you? Sir, do you have an ID on you?
I have a right to remain silent, right?
All right. You do. You have an ID on you?
Man.
Okay.
That's Raheem Sharks. He said, "I'm not talking to you, man. I have a right to remain silent." So check it out.
Step down for me. Turn around.
Now, who is this?
Raheem.
That's Raheem.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. His shirt did get ripped. Okay.
Like, you know, you got a vote for it? No? You don't know? You got the right to remain silent. You do. Step back in the car for me. 576 County.
Like there ain't no gun in there.
Pause it. I caught it. I caught it. The first thing came out of his mouth, ain't no gun in there. Why would you say that?
576 County. I got an Illinois file ready.
But check, this part is what I want you guys to notate as well, Foxy. So check this out.
It's going to
be they audited it out, so that's not us, that's them.
Village. Is there customer pro status but discharge out?
So for that person come back with a valid Ford and a CCL.
And there have been a BB.
Now hear what he said? It ended up being a BB gun. But listen, let me ask you guys a question. You would think that trained officers would know whether this gun is a BB gun or not, right?
Right.
But check it out. Check it out. Listen to this.
Negative. 230. 568. Put name and DOB when you're ready.
I understand.
And by the way, they had to be living in that car, man, because there's no way that car could be that filthy. So you're talking about a globe charting playboy who's supposed to have all of this $million money, super rich, and you see all this shit in this car. I mean, come on, really? But anyway, check this out.
I'm ready, go ahead. Last name Spice. Sam, Paul, Ida, King, and...
Did you guys hear that? I'm gonna play it again.
No, or just tell us. But
That's our village. Is there customer pro status but discharge out?
hard to understand them.
I'm gonna decipher it right here.
And there have been a BB.
Listen. After this, listen now.
Negative. 230.
He said, turn in the car. We're going to leave the keys in the car. And we're going to park it outside. Stop looking in the car.
Oh, you can hear. Oh, I'm so glad you can understand that. Okay, it was hard to understand.
He said, turn in the car, put the keys in the car. We're going to park it outside. Stop looking in the car. This is the sergeant in control. So they stopped doing the search in the car.
That's why I said send this whole video and do an email to the board. They did all kind of violations.
There's multiple violations here, guys.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make you so public, guys. Tell people and go back and pull this video up. I'll disclose the full video by the morning. I'm gonna get the chats real quick because this has been long and drawn out. But I just wanted this is a critical element that we've been sitting on for a while. No, that wasn't the chief. That was one of the sergeants. His name, yeah, that was one of the sergeants, right? Okay, Beth said, oh, that's dirty. Yeah, well, what do you guys expect? You know, and we've known about this for a while. Jed is known to frequent hotels. Thank you, Brian. Well, you know, you're not telling us nothing that we don't know. Okay, here, Brian. If he said it was a BB gun and paintballs and guns are the same, right? Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
No, they're not. They're not.
Somebody said, oh, Dramatic said, was that Hassan's gun? I mean, you know, they did take Hassan's gun, you know, so
Right.
there it is. And Dramatic was shaking my head. Listen, you guys, tell everybody about this video. They can pull it up and pull it for themselves, and I'll have the whole thing. Yeah, these guys are zesty, dumb criminals. I got you. All right, so you know, there it is. We've been holding on to this smoking gun for a while, and there's some more that will be released next week. I'm not sure how much we'll release because we are in current litigation and probably more. But you know, this is so you guys know, and so they'll know that we didn't just start this. This has been strategy. It's been a strategy that's been ongoing. And please tell the folks who didn't understand that we came prepared to fight. We came prepared to fight these ops. And next week we'll have something even better. All right.
All right now.
So, by the way, before I end, we got the community reporters program going on, and that's going. And the first part, and Miss Ramona will have the checklist because she's supervising that. So the first part of this, I'm sorry, not the community reporter. You're part of the community. You're part of the court reporters program, but the community reporters program is something that Ryan and Dr. Matt Harrington are kind of, they're the spearheads of this, and I'm a part of it. So what we're asking for is, if anybody wants to be a community reporter, because we need eyes and ears out there in the community, then if you're interested, just go ahead and drop me a line or drop Ryan a DM, and we'll have information about it, and then we'll put that out by tomorrow as far as what needs to be done. That way we can put this thing into effect once and for all, because we need eyes and ears out there, and we can't depend upon NBC or CBS or ABC to do the thing, but we can definitely grow our own organic reporters, and we'll train folks over the course of the next few months, and we can get this thing piloted right away. Any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, anything, y'all? Anything from the chat?
Look, check your private chat. He sent you a message, Amir.
Who sent me a message?
YouTube Radix.
Oh, Dramatic? Okay, yeah, I got you. I'll check it. Ryan, Ramona, last words, comments, concerns, anything from anybody?
We just have to stay committed to what we are doing and to continue to expose all this corruption so that Harvey will continue to be a better place.
Okay, I agree. Thank you for your participation tonight as well. And also you too, Foxy. Go ahead and what were you, Foxy? You have some closing remarks?
Yes, what I want to do is tell everybody, continue to watch you all, Ryan and Amir, and support them and help them make Harvey a better place, because they're the only ones out there with, foots on the grounds and, reporting back along with Ramona, and support them and, and make your community a better place. It's in your hand. Don't leave it up to, you already see that the government is corrupt. So it's up to the community now to make the change. And so let's make that change.
Yeah, thank you, Project Higher.
That's kind of what I was going to say too.
No, go ahead. You can do your final remarks, sir. And Cheryl, Foxy, you're going to beat me up later on. Just beat me up.
Beth says, don't forget Beth. No, we won't forget you, Beth.
I'm going to go down the chat.
Beth to everybody. Yeah, I was just gonna say we need everyone. We need everyone. Even if it's just putting a comment online, or I know what I've been sharing lately is like, hey, could you send an email? Could you maybe make a phone call, something like that? It does make a difference. So don't feel discouraged, or don't feel like, yeah, but if I do it, it's not going to mean anything, because it does. It really, really makes a difference. And that's why we see so much turnover at the city now, is because they're trying to cover their tracks. But we are not going to retreat. We have to keep pushing forward, because unfortunately they seem to be trying to steal as much money and try to demolish as many historic buildings and just do crazy things, as much as possible for the election next year. So please stay engaged, guys. Thank you.
And also take that video that he just showed you with the police, everybody, and send an email to the board, the state board in regards to the police department, and show how corrupt this police department, and make them be accountable for that.
And please send it to the other influencers, guys, because I'll have the thing downloaded. But please, they can chop it up right now as we speak. So please let them talk about it as well, because nobody knew this and nobody had the video. And so, basically they can even take this right now, because it definitely brings a lot of questions to the table. Dramatic said, great show. I appreciate the invite. Thank you. We appreciate you as well. Beth, Renee, Brian, Project Media. Let me see. Who else did I miss? Listen, y'all, let's stay engaged. Oh, Project Higher Ground Media is who we got. Javaris, yeah, let's not forget about you. Listen, everyone who did not, please, let's watch. Oh, next Tuesday at 11 a.m. CS time. You guys, I will be in court at with Mr. Brown. Just watch my Facebook. I'm gonna announce that. And we got to continue. We got to continue with our feet on the ground, and we got to stay forward focused. And we can't let nobody intimidate us or the community. So it's time for us to put our foots down and put these people, send these people where they belong, either jail or get them out of here. Because I tell you what, how I feel. The state of Illinois is too small, and this planet is too small for me and folks like Brown. So somebody got to go some kind of way, and I'm hoping that law enforcement does their thing so we can distinguish ourselves in the community of this plague once and for all. All right. All right, guys. If anybody wants to call me or whatever, please call me afterwards. But thank you for listening in, and be looking out for the PRC, the report card, because we will have that up and ready by tomorrow. And I will download these videos by tomorrow. Like I said, tell some of the influencers, take that video. Y'all can share it from here as we speak. And I'll have the whole thing uploaded. And you guys can ask the pertinent questions, all right? Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. Anything that I missed, anybody let me know. Any finals?
All right. Melissa Crowley said good reporting. Thank you, Melissa. And we stand with her against the bullying that's being done. YouTube Dramatic said French, can't forget him. Yes, French, I haven't seen him forever.
French, we forgot you too. We thank you for tuning in. I think he went over to Shay's, but hey, somebody get that video over to Shay, and I'll send it directly to him as well, because I said I would. Melissa Crowley, my favorite lady. Thank you, one of my favorite ladies. You know, stay strong.
Melissa, love you, girl.
Keep your head up there, lady. All right. All right, guys. We won't hold anybody else. Oh, Paul Roberts. Thank you for chiming in. Let's not forget Paul. All right, he's our secret agent. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for chiming in, and let's get this for next month as well. We'll have a community conversation, and just watch out for the announcements. All right, we'll take it from there. Peace.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Amir. Thanks, guys.